a book nerd. Hey Epic Readers, it is Michael from Team Epic Reads, and you are watching the first book haul of 2020. Oh, those aren't the best to be able to see through. So, how's everybody's 2019? It's the past, I don't actually want to know. Welcome to the new year. January is a very exciting, this is a large, that's a big stack. This is a large stack of books, and as I always start off these videos, if you watched them last year, so long ago, I promise that's the last joke that I'll make about the new year. I usually start off by talking about the Year of Epic Reads monthly reading challenge, but take a pause, freeze frame, scratch disc. I'm doing too much. We don't have the Year of Epic Reads reading challenge anymore. We have a book club now. It has evolved into a book club. The details for the Facebook book club will be in the description down below, and the first book we are reading is A Very Large Expanse of Sea by Taha Mafi, and so this is my current read. It's a really emotional, heart-rending tale about a Muslim girl post 9/11 and a romance and her life and what she's going through, and Taha Mafi is fantastic, and so is this book, and you should all read it for the book club. Okay, now onto the books in January. First up is The Hand on the Wall by Maureen Johnson. This is the final book in the Truly Devious series. Riddle, riddle on the wall, solve the mystery once and for all. And if you don't know what the Truly Devious series is, first of all, read the first two books. It's set in a boarding school and it follows a girl who is like really, really fantastic at crime solving. Like, it's her passion. And this boarding school is only for really talented students who excel in some sort of category. And she excels at crime solving and mystery and such. And so her goal at this school is to solve the disappearance and murder of the original proprietor's wife and daughter years and years and years ago. And it's never been solved, but Stevie Bell is on the case, and there is romance and mystery and more murder. Murder continues to happen, and this is the final book. Y'all gotta get on this. So good. First book, Truly Devious. Second book, The Vanishing Stair. Third book, The Hand on the Wall. It's about to get a little hotter in here because the next book we're talking about is Infinity Sun by Adam Silvera. This is Adam's fantasy debut, and it is set in an alternate New York City where phoenixes and other mystical creatures are very rare but exist, and people are also sometimes born with powers. Like, they're born into telekinesis, or they're born into the ability to fly, and these people are called celestials. But not everybody is born into power. And not everybody is okay that they're not born into power. And so some people do really terrible things, like take the blood from mythical creatures to get their own power. And these people are called specters. And it's set in this world where we find two brothers who find themselves at the middle of a war, generations in the making, between the specters and the celestials. Super epic, lots of action, a little bit of romance in there, and it's a really, really high stakes, fun fantasy. And then the next boat I have for you today is Loveboat Taipei by Abigail Hingwen. And this is a book about a girl named Ever, whose mom and parents want her to go to medical school, but she's got dreams of being a dancer, and so she doesn't always see eye to eye to them. And her parents decide to send her on this foreign trip to Taipei, which they think will be a good learning cultural experience for her, and she'll learn how to speak Mandarin, and they have a vision of what it is. But she gets there and finds out, it's like, that's not what's happening here. It's like a no supervision, fun teen party time, and she really experiences a lot of things for the first time. It's great Asian American representation. It's just there's romance and there's drama, and it's like Crazy Rich Asians meets Gossip Girl. It's such a fun story. And then the next book is Almost American Girl by Robin Ha. It comes out simultaneously in hardcover and paperback. And this is a graphic novel memoir about Robin Ha's life and how, when she was younger, her mom told her that they were going on a vacation to America, but when they got there, she found out she was never going back. And it's sort of her story in this new environment and the difficulties of moving to America as someone who doesn't know the language well and had to learn a lot about the culture, and the difficult with her step family, and and her mom's romantic situations and feeling really lost and alone. And then she finds comics, and she sort of finds herself and her people there, and she sort of, I don't want to spoil it for you guys, but it's a really, really touching, beautiful story. And the next book I have for you guys today is Not So Pure and Simple by Lamar Giles. And this is a story about a guy who has been crushing on a girl since kindergarten. And it's junior year of high school now, and she's finally single, and he thinks this is finally his chance. And he sort of is doing whatever he can to make her want to be with him, because it's what he's wanted for so long. And now that she's single, there are other guys that are interested in her and trying to enter in a relationship with her. And it sort of asks larger questions about toxic masculinity and what it means to be a man, and like asking like, what does the girl want in all of this? You know what I mean? And it's just like a really great, thought-provoking story about masculinity nowadays. And then next up, I have Seven Deadly Shadows by Courtney Alameda and Valeen E. Matani, and this is a Seven Samurai retelling. It follows a girl who has never sort of felt like she fit in, and her family shrine is attacked, and she doesn't know why, and then she realizes her shrine holds an artifact of great power, and then realizes she needs to team up with 7 demons to prevent the end of the world. So, pretty epic, high stakes, Asian-inspired fantasy, and it's fantastic. How many times have I said that this video? I apologize. January is an exciting month, you guys. And the next book I have is Just Breathe by Cami McGovern, and this follows sort of the school president, Mr. Popular, who has cystic fibrosis. And so he's always been living his life as if it wasn't a thing that would potentially end his life. And then he realizes he needs a lung transplant, and it really hits him hard. And it follows a girl who's never fit in, and she's just got depression, and she's a loner, and they meet at the hospital for one of his appointments, and they form a friendship that turns into even more, and they sort of realize who they are and who they want to be through each other. So it's a really, really touching romance. And then I have Spellhacker by M.K. England, and this is set in a world where there was a magical plague, and now magic is a resource that's sort of tightly regulated within this land. And it follows a cast of characters who are illegally siphoning magic until they come upon this like strand of magic, and in the book it's called Maz, that's more powerful than any they've seen before. And then something goes wrong and it blows up in their faces, and they have to save the world. So no pressure there. And then finally, I have Three Things I Know Are True by Betty Cully, and this is a novel in verse, and it's about a girl whose brother accidentally shot himself with a gun, and it was his friend, their neighbor's dad's gun. And so since then, the brother's life has never been the same. He needs constant care and nurses to help him survive, and he doesn't have the path or future he thought he'd have. And her mom is suing the neighbors, and the neighbor's son, his friend, he's been through a lot since this has all happened, and it sort of takes a look at tragedy and its effect on family and friendship, and it's just a really powerful, heartbreaking story. So the first book haul of 2020, in the bag. I need to stop doing finger guns. Thank you all for watching. I will be back next month, and I'm a bounce.